Hey guys, welcome to another episode here. In this particular episode, we're going to go over a race here in Road America. It's one of the highest strength of field races that I've done to date at about almost 3,900. As you can see here, we're starting P6 in a field of about 24 drivers, I believe. And so, yeah, it was a great race. It was a great learning experience being able to race against some of the stronger drivers throughout the field. And so, yeah, without further ado, we'll just kind of get into it in here shortly. Yeah, so as you can see, starting P6. Um, just taking a look here now, if we go down further in the order, some of these drivers are pretty decent caliber. Um, yeah, so a lot to expect. Some of the stronger ones starting further back, and then we have Paul Joffrey starting at the front. He's currently top 10 in the fixed Porsche Cup Championship. As you can see, he's on pole position. We put in a 208.4 just as a reference to the 207.7 I think that he had put in. So we were about half a second off, and so we're starting sixth. And here we go. As you can see, I'm a little bit slow off the line just due to the fact that, again, I don't have an extra clutch pedal, so I just kind of anticipate the start as such. And you can see my goal here was to really kind of buy my time and not worry too much about making any moves, especially into turn one. My goal was more so just to kind of survive turn one. As you can see here, it's pretty chaos and yeah, we're just hoping here just to kind of ease through. Once we got out of turn one, I think okay, hopefully we see these two guys battling up here. Hopefully you don't have any issues entering into turn two. And as you can see behind, there is a bit of a gap forming. So this point is just, again, being about conservative in nature and kind of just getting through the first few corners on the first lap. So you guys can see under this heavy braking zone here to turn 3, almost end up clipping one of the drivers here, which you couldn't quite tell, but someone went off right here. Tried to make a move, but as you can see, just trying to see here if I can turn the volume. Yeah, just ignore it. As you can see here, we're in the corner and we're going to get squeezed a bit, so I couldn't quite accelerate the way I wanted to in this mid corner apex. So as a result, we kind of had to fill in, as you can see right here, and just kind of slot in behind Buddy up here. So yeah, we almost got hit actually in the back too. And so this one right here is a little bit ambitious, this move here. Give him the space, and he's fair play to him. He doesn't really hit us either. But look at the amount of time we just lose to the lead pack because this guy was racing a little too hard on the first lap. And he carries so much speed that he actually goes off and mows a bit of the grass for good measure and loses 2 spots in the process of doing that. Measure, he does give us a little bit of a tap, but nothing crazy. We get bumped here by William Rasmussen, who you'll find out later in the race as things didn't go his way. And here again, he just squeezes us well out, well off the track. We ended up losing 2 spots in the process. So at this point, you know, a little bit agitated, but I'm trying to remind myself to keep cool. It's important to keep cool in these types of situations where you're losing positions hand over fist. So you can see he makes another move down the inside, and I almost lose it right here. Almost. And I'm like, what is happening? So I'm going to have to defend and hold my line there in order to not lose many positions. But at this point, I'm like, okay, I just need to settle down, let the race come to me. As you can see, it's already only lap 2, so a lot of time left in this race. And that's exactly the approach I took. Because I knew I was on pace, at least with some of these guys here that are now in front of us. And so it's important to mentally, again, easier said than done, but mentally stay focused and just hit your marks consistently. And good things should happen in the form of you making your lap time, but also capitalizing on other people's mistakes. As we'll see throughout the races, this race progresses on. So entering here towards Canada corner. And we're just gonna kind of take a look here at the drivers in front, or behind, sorry. And we had Juan Amante here lose it, and actually he was the innocent victim in this, because up ahead looks like it's Augustin Dovat. It's just absolutely made a mockery of it here, just coming into that corner. Absolutely insane incident right here. Oh, what a shame. What a shame. That's basically ended his race. And it's also ended the race of buddy over here, Juan Amante. That's quite unfortunate. So these guys kind of got through. Seems to be catching now that they've a little bit now that I've settled down a bit. But look at this battle going on over here for 4th, 5th, 6th. Tight gaggle of cars. Martinez. Let's see, he's got the slipstream. At this point, these guys just try to fight each other, do as clean as possible. Passing is pretty straightforward here in Road America. There are chances to do that if you have the speed coming out of the cars onto the long straights. So it makes quick work of that, and lightly bump it over the back. Now Rasmussen has caught up into this little trio as well. So this man's, I don't know if he had some Carolina Reapers in his meal right before this race, but this man was hot, and not in a good way. Like, I just don't know, this guy was way too aggressive. Had the skill, had the lap time, it's just, I think he was starting so far back, because in qualifying he didn't get a lap time in. I think he had exceeded track limits, and so as you see there, 2 cars right behind. Went off kind of in sympathy here, so Kurushet, and then we have Mokrani, who again was the man that was again put that move on us earlier, and again too aggressive, and he's gone way too deep, and he's as a result just took the half spin. We gained 2 spots as a result, so instead of 11th now we're up in 9th, and so again with these guys battling up front here, as you can see, which is quite aggressive. You're about to find out. Like, look at this move again. Look at how shallow of an angle that is. Rasmussen says thank you very much, sends it down the inside, gets 2 spots just from Ilya Sour, just sour grapes on this one. I don't know why you'd even attempt to pass here. Look at the angle. Like you're just gonna end up losing or kicking someone out into the gravel, which is exactly what happened. And Rasmussen takes over the spot. 2 spots. Finds himself up into 5th now, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. It's a good drive so far from him, but again, as we'll find out, again, a little too aggressive. And we find ourselves in 9th at the moment. So I like this section of the track too, because it's pretty flat, fast flowing, long straights. Here's your heavy braking now into Canada corner. Nice kind of right-hander. You can take the exits speed a little bit. Looks a little bit quicker than it actually is, but you've got to slow down quite heavy. That's a good drive. So I use SimMagic P2000 pedals, and for those that don't know, those pedals have a hydraulic braking mechanism in it. And so after this race, I'd actually experimented, instead of using the default red and kind of yellow spring setup, I'd actually moved to the blue and green setup for the springs. So basically, in order to stiffen them up a bit. And what I found was it was a lot easier to trail brake, which is what you need in this car, since this car doesn't have much downforce. As you can see here, the brakes kind of bled off in mid-corner, but with this stiffer spring, I was able to actually hold that little bit of extra brake as I approached the apex of the corner, and therefore get the front end to bite a little bit better and have that additional downforce on those front tires. So I'll have more races after this race, kind of demonstrating that, but I felt an immediate improvement in my ability to rotate the car just with that extra little bit of trail braking enabled with the stiffer wheel design. So again, now as you see here, we've caught these guys in 8th and 7th position. So we are battling, and meanwhile Rasmussen here is up in the 6th. Some of these front runners in the front, like Paul and Co. have Alberto just kind of checked out here from 3rd place even. Running great lap times here. So Paul's running about 207.76, 208.1, 208.4. So some of these guys. Let's see, 207.6. So he tries to go for the move down here and gives the space on the exit this time around to Zach, which is good. We ran at 208.8, so a little bit slower, but we're still a little bit stuck behind these guys. It's Kevin and I believe that's Maddie is catching us as well. Around at the top 10 and 11 positions. So we're just going to fast forward here a little bit. Just so you guys have an idea. So right here, as we're approaching the back straightaway, see, mistake made. Just like I said earlier in the video, sometimes you just gotta buy your time. Others might make costly errors, and you just gotta pounce on the opportunity. And in order to pounce on that opportunity, you just gotta be there in the right place as well. And so that's why having that kind of calm approach, and especially when things aren't going your way, as well, is just as important as being confident to go aggressive when you need to be. But yeah, that puts us right up in 8th, and so we're moving along quite nicely. So as you see, last lap time was a 208.5, so we're matching about these guys right here at about 205, 208.5, 208.7. Right in that wheelhouse. You can see Cruche battling Maddie here. And this battle kind of heating up here a little bit, and Elias, who had made the mistake here. Say it's Elias, but it could be just Elias. So, yeah, so we got Eric, we got Zach, Luis, Elias here. Elias, he's a little back on us. Built a 2 and 3 car length kind of gap is obviously by no means any comfort in that. Look how early I do have to brake here. As you can see, the trail braking and mid-corner I've let off completely. So again, losing a little bit of that extra downforce, which I was able to discover once I had the setup springs changed and was getting a bit of a stiffer pedal. So in this case, Kevin, I think, had let Maddie just go. And here, Elias tries to pass us and again just clips us in the rear a little bit, which I thought was a little bit aggressive, a little too aggressive. I think he was coming from quite a ways back. And you can see here, turning in even, he wasn't even anywhere alongside. He was just kind of like forcing the issue. I saw him in the mirror. I did give him a bit of space, but I didn't expect him to kind of just hang it in in there, and so he did make some contact. We were able to save it. On he went. But it was a little too aggressive in my opinion for him to make that move. But anyways, he got the pass done. So yeah, so we're heading on to lap 7 here. Let's see, it's a battle. So we're just gonna go back. I think Maddie, yeah, so right here, I think Maddie just drove on by Kevin. Porsche here. Just kind of pulled over, it looks like, just let him go. Fair enough, I mean, if he knows that he's not in battle for that particular position with that particular driver, who knows he's a lot quicker than him, no point of holding him up, because at that point they just start defending too much, overly being aggressive and such, then other drivers might not take too kindly to that, and they might get more aggressive with you, and at the end of the day, you might end up winning the race. So the fact that he pulled over and let him by, fair play to him. And so, yeah, we're approaching lap 8 here. As you can see, Maddie has now caught us. And so we're in that position now where, yeah, we got to make a move quick, relatively, because Maddie's right on us. And so this is one of those situations where you can't buy too much time. Because, again, you have now someone directly behind you that's also looking to get past you in the process. And so in my mind, I'm kind of looking at where Elias is. Where am I making time on this man? And it's usually, it was in the first, I would say two-thirds of the lap. And then the last third, I kind of lost some time, actually. Just due to the fact, again, that I wasn't able to kind of trail brake as much as I wanted to into some of these corners. See right here, entering Canada corner again. So do brake quite a bit. In this case, Elias does go wide, and we're able to capitalize on that through a nice move around the outside. And just like that, he's able to take back 8th. And then again, Elias with the kind of the shallow entry has now set up Maddie, who says thank you very much. And goes right down the inside, smooth and steady there, and will take over that 9th position with ease. Let's see here, both kind of braking heavy, but at the end of the day, Maddie just has more speed and takes that position away. Alright, so we're just going through the field here. Paul kind of having a picnic of his own, but looks like he gone wide there, but what's happening here? Let's see. William here. So he's just saying insane 4. Oh, looks like insane 4X. Looks like someone, he made contact with someone. So it looks like, oh, so it looks like someone's coming out of the pits. Oh, that's Dovat, the man that spun earlier and caused that incident. That's crazy work. The fact that he's just come out and not have any idea here of people battling for an actual position. As you can see here, so I mean, he's slowed down the apex, and so he's moved it. Ah, yes. Man needs a full milkshake and a half after that one. That's absolutely horrid driving. I don't care who you are. That, like, what's the point of retaliating here? I mean, he did lose time, but he's well within the position to regain it back. Instead of, like, yeah, he lost time, but why would you deliberately crash and ruin your own race? I don't quite understand that logic. So he got a drive-through penalty from this. That makes sense, because look, he's finished all the way down to 16th. And so, yeah, that to me seems A, warranted, B, I think it should be more harsher. The fact that this man was still able to race the rest of the way. I think iRacing should really have a look at people that drive this way and have temper tantrums, because, I mean, granted, make no mistake, Duvat, like, you can't just exit the pits and hold up people that are actually racing for position, let alone the podium. But, like, I have no idea why the man just kind of just went in and just thought it was best to destroy his own race and clobber, just send a message. I mean, it's not a practice session here. This is a race. Anyways, we're just going to fast forward here. You can see he's going to be serving that penalty here right outside. There he is, right there. And so we inherited 7th place as a result of that man's brilliant actions. So now it's going to be a straight fight here. Lap 10, right? Basically 2.5, 3 laps ago. It's going to be a fight between 7th, 8th, 9th that we find ourselves in. Before we do that, we'll go a little bit up ahead here. Battle for 4th and 5th between Zach and Eric. So let's take a look here. So Eric going a bit defensive. And let's see what happens here. Zach choosing the outside. He's going to try to cross. Great racing on both. It's good corner speed by Eric right here. And in the fact that he was able to kind of carry that speed mid-corner, considering he took a shallower line entering that corner. Usually when you enter shallow, you got to brake a little bit harder. But he carried the same kind of mid-corner speed as Zach here had, so therefore he was able to hold him off comfortably and maintain that position. So good on him for that. And as you see here, we're just going to kind of go through. Some battles going on. It's mainly us here that's going to be in a battle here with 2 laps to go. And Maddie and I have pulled away from Elias here. Elias. Yeah. One of these days, I'll get that name right. I promise you. So right here, Maddie is sensing this is an opportunity. Again, I didn't defend too much. And so he brakes, again, takes a very shallow approach. Makes a nice clean pass, fair play to him. Takes that position. I didn't fight it too hard because guess what? All that, look at this. Elias here is caught up right to us. And so, yeah, that's if you end up fighting someone side by side. I know it's 2 to go, but you potentially run into the problem where this guy has a chance to pounce, or someone that you know has been aggressive the entire race has a chance to pounce. And at the end of the day, it's not worth taking that gamble, in my opinion. Maybe I should take a gamble or 2, because that would have netted me 7th here, potentially. Either way, we chose to survive. And fair play to Maddie for this clean setup and for the drive in this race as well. Clean racing from him, which is always appreciable from anyone that you race against. And good quality driving as well from some of the others here throughout the fields. So Paul here, we're just going to simulate through the last lap a bit. And everyone's spread out a bit now at this point in time. And it's mainly just going to be us here that are kind of in vicinity of taking that position again. So we tried to follow him through here, lost the nose a little bit, tried to follow a bit close. Right here as well, again, heavy braking, trying to maximize as much exit speed as you can, just getting out of that corner like that. At this point, we're a little bit too far back to try anything into turn 3, so we're just trying to, again, maintain with the draft in order to kind of get the job done. Right here, rounding out the carousel. And we're right in Maddie's tracks right here. D6 celebrations are pretty much matching her at this point. Doing a good job with that. Just trying to follow him again through this last little part. And again, just not having enough grip to just kind of get him there, but yeah, as you can see, we've pulled away from Elias there. So into Canada corner one last time, brake quite heavily, and tried to get the most of it, almost went too wide into the gravel. race again overall. A great experience again racing against some of these guys. Facing tougher competition with each race, which is nice. It's good progress. Definitely happy with it. A lot to learn, a lot to take away from this race. We ended up here in P8, so a lot to be proud of. But yeah, we'll move on. We'll take this learning and definitely apply it to some of the races. Hopefully we can get to that 4,000 strength of fields. And yeah, thanks again for watching, and stay tuned for more fun racing content. Thanks.